anywhere before. Couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care for I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Well, hello, good afternoon. How the devil are you? Might as well jump straight in. I haven't watched the whole movie. I say movie, I mean sort of propaganda. It's quite odd though. I think if I was Hollywood right now and all the stuff coming out about Hollywood, I don't know why my eyes look so pink, by the way. They're not pink. If I was in Hollywood right now and all the stuff coming out about Hollywood and deviance, I don't know, I just may have decided that perhaps this wasn't quite the right time to bring out a movie about a fetish. But the bit I want to jump into, and like I said, I haven't seen the whole film, but I really did want to talk very quickly about the nature of this fetish. And I want everyone to have no doubt whatsoever. And I'm just going to talk in general terms. And if you think this applies to the person in the film, because he is part of this group of people that I'm describing in general terms, it's entirely up to you. That will be an inference that you might make, and possibly I might make. But I'm just giving you my knowledge, and then you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, that's kind of the deal today. So Let me tell you some of the things I know about this particular fetish. This particular fetish can be something that's embedded, that's kind of a tangent from something that happens in boyhood mostly, because women don't really have fetishes. Some women do, some women adopt fetishes, but it doesn't seem to be such a route as men. I know what I'm. Oh, that's better. It and now I'm far too pasty, but never mind. But it's not the same as the fetish route that men take, okay? Because we are just different. Do you like my top? We are just different, and so it'd be ridiculous to think that our biology and the way our brain works and our chemistry and our hormones take us to the same places as men. So anyway, so it sets quite young and then it kind of brims up in adolescence, or sometimes it's really kept at bay. And then often these men with this fetish, and let me just say again, if you have one paraphilia, it is very likely you will have another. And the paraphilias might be exhibitionism, sort of sadism, pedophilia, sort of fetish, adopting or putting your sexuality and your sexual kind of proclivity and desires through some sort of bizarre object or function or ritual. For example, I know someone that went on a first date and he brought with him a pair of fishnet, fishnet body stocking. And let me just say to any women, you get involved with a man with a fetish, you are merely an accessory to that fetish. You are not the main course, ladies. You are just simply a way for him to satisfy his desires. It doesn't really matter who you are. So let me just put that there as well. So what you hear in these stories, and I suspect the Will and Hunter film will be exactly the same, you will hear, I thought about this in childhood. I knew I was different. I couldn't quite work it out. I thought I was a girl, but I just dismissed it. Or I liked wearing girls' clothes or my sister's clothes or my mum's clothes, but I just dismissed it. I thought I was odd. I thought I was strange. I just didn't fit in. And I knew that I couldn't do this. So I pushed it aside and I just suffered so much with not being able to wear my mum's pants, right? So you'll hear a lot of that. And if that's not in this story, I will be deeply shocked because these men, what they do is they revise their whole lives to suit the fetish that they now want to exhibit and display. Now, when do these fetishes come out for many of these men? Well, you'll notice a couple of things. Often these men end up looking like an identical version of their wives, and they try their very best. And wives will report that their husbands kind of study them and mimic them and come up with their mannerisms and way of talking. Another time that these men will come out, so sometimes it'll be just after marriage, and all of a sudden they need to say it. And I don't know that that's on purpose manipulation, but I do think it's part of the coercion and general manipulation and abuse that these men kind of put upon their wives. So I'm not saying that everything that even an abuser does is completely conscious, but it doesn't make the abuse any less, whether they're conscious or not. So another time that these men, their fetish will just bubble up, they just can't bear it any longer, is just after they get married, when their wives are pregnant, when that first baby comes along, when the girls go through puberty or otherwise midlife events. When my wife maybe goes through menopause, that might be a trigger. But these men suddenly can't keep it in anymore, and it's a tale of vulnerability and woe, as opposed to a tale of extreme entitlement and sexual fetish, which is exactly what it is. Because they've decided their secret self, and I'm sure we all have our secret self. We all have little bits of ourselves that maybe we don't admit to, that we keep completely private. It could be anything. It could be, I don't know, that you enjoy stamping on ants. I don't care what it is, but most of us have a little bit of a secret self. These men's secret selves, what we have to understand, and what I don't think women often understand, is those secret selves are absolute compulsion, obsession, and they will organize their entire lives around that obsession. So if they haven't told everyone, if they haven't told their wives that they're wearing their knickers as soon as they leave the house, those men will look forward to every second and create opportunities in which they're on their own in order to put their wives' pants on. All right. So I just want to be really, really clear that however much you hear a sob story, that they can't help it, that they just felt so alone, what they're actually saying is they consumed a copious amount of porn. They kept secrets from their wives, their children, and actually what they decided in the end is their desire and their need to exhibit their fetish in public at the humiliation of their wives and their families and sometimes themselves got too powerful that they no longer felt that they had to keep a lid on it, right? So they lost all shame around it and they no longer felt that they had to keep a lid on it for the sake of their children, for the sake of their wives, for the sake of anyone else, because this compulsion, this desire to go around sexually aroused in a kind of linking way, because fetish doesn't always mean that you walk around with an erection. It just means that the pathways have been so corrupted that you get sexual satisfaction just out of wearing the dress. You don't even need to have sex in the dress. And often what you find with these wives is that the sexual activity has been withdrawn from them anyway, especially if those wives don't affirm that their husbands are now their lesbian partners. Okay, so anyway. Let's have a look. Right, so this is a little bit way into the film, and what they're about to do now is, well, you'll see. And I haven't watched this. This might be the most heartwarming, wonderful moment you've ever seen. It might be completely distressing. You might see tears or tantrums, or you might see acceptance, or you might see coercion. I have no idea what you're about to see.
I'd say we're going to leave the city, but I want to stop and have breakfast with my kids, and then we'll hit the road after
My kids.
that.
I'm excited to see your kids again. I haven't seen them in a long time.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey. Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
Did you notice? So he goes in, he just does that. Nobody gives him a hug. I'm assuming if there was a hug moment there, you would have seen it. So let's see how old his kids are and what sex his kids are.
Emma, I haven't seen you. When was the last time I saw
you
you?
at SNL one time, I think
Yeah.
like maybe 3 or 4 before the pandemic.
I met you even before that. You guys were all super little.
Yeah.
And at one point, you brought out a little tiny saxophone.
I did?
Yeah. And you started doing a bit. You're like, playing in a family band.
Really?
And then
I didn't know you could play the tiny saxophone.
and then I played a little instrument. And you two just stared at us like, this is not funny, nor is it good.
Okay.
Now here's the dilemma.
Okay.
Hey kids, let's just put you straight on camera with your dad apparently just announcing that he wants to take hormones and grow some tits. That's nice, isn't it? I think they look like 2 girls.
Uh-oh.
There's a Greek omelet and
Yeah.
there's an Athenian omelet.
Oh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Take the order.
Yes, we are.
Shall I get you?
Okay.
Do you have some tzatziki?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
It's a Greek diner.
for the table. Tzatziki for the table.
No,
no, not for the table.
I'm just going to make an observation. I don't know that this is true. But speaking as a mother of 4, and I'm a second child. Second children don't wear the burden of their parents, right? So second children, if parents are arguing, second children think they're both idiots. Oldest children might feel partly responsible, want to keep the peace. They're far more likely to feel the burden of their parents' decisions. Second children, in my experience, they just think you're both idiots, right? They have a slight distance away from you. I don't know what that's all about, but it seems to be true in most family dynamics that I know. So the older daughter there, I haven't really seen her look at her dad yet, whereas the younger one seems to be far less, I don't know. I might be just putting my own bias on this, but the younger daughter doesn't seem to be looking too much. I mean,
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
So I want to be clear. Harper's still dad.
Harper's still dad, still pop.
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 But pronouns she.
Harper's still dad because she said she was dead.
Oh. I don't know about you. I find it really upsetting. Because what do girls want? And I don't give a shit if you think this is trad wife bollocks. But what do girls want? They want a dad. They want a father figure. They want a man to look after her. They want someone to turn to who is a really sturdy father figure.
Yeah.
You know, like
How did you give the news? Did you guys all get together?
No.
no email, just like you.
Oh,
I was out.
What? Hear that again, everyone. How did you tell your teenage daughters, what a coincidence. They see those girls, they see their daughters going through puberty, growing breasts. They just can't keep a lid on it, can they? That's when they want to come out. Oh, that period fetish. Wow, they just can't keep it in. That is the moment that they decide they want to be women, right? These men. That is a moment they have to say to everyone, oh, you're becoming a woman. Oh my God, I'm becoming a woman too. Let's talk about periods together. Let's talk about our breasts and bras. I just want to say as well, how did he tell his children? How did he tell his children?
Harper's still dead because she said she was dead.
Yeah.
You know, like
how did you give the news? Did you guys all get together?
No.
no email, just like you.
Oh,
I was at Popeyes. I was picking up my biscuit,
right.
and I go, "Holy shit!
Holy shit.
I got to pull over for this one."
Oh,
I mean, when
okay.
the divorce happened, we kind of knew a little bit. We got that note from Harper about how
Yeah. Well done to his wife, ex-wife. Oh, that's such great news, isn't it? That's such great news. I'm so absolutely delighted.
we might find women's clothes. She was wearing women's clothes. I was like, okay. And then after that, we got the full, I'm using she, her pronouns.
Yeah.
So it felt gradual to me. It didn't feel like a shock.
For the most part, you guys just took it in stride. Or was it?
It was easy to accept immediately, right?
Right.
But for me, I think I had a moment of like, my dad was my only sort of masculine representation, and I sort of idolized that in a weird way.
No, in the same way most little girls do. Not weird. What a selfish bastard.
Still my dad, but I think for me, the only thing I lost was that masculine figure, but you don't really need it.
Food is here.
Gorgeous.
It would have been time, matey, whatever your name is, Dave, to say, I'm sorry. Well, actually, that would have been the time to just not do it. Why do we have to be, we women? And I know some of the women practically encourage this, but why do we have to be the facilitator for these fucking fetishists?
And I love it.
You called it.
And
Everyone get your own.
So you guys know what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys worried about me on this trip at all?
Oh my God. Are you worried about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? I'd imagine that's a soundtrack to his life.
I think I'm more worried about your mental health.
I'm more worried about your physical safety.
Yeah.
But also, the things that you love scare me sometimes, being in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And especially
I'm
now,
actually learning a little bit to be a little more afraid of that stuff.
after this transition, it's scary.
I'll be honest, I wrestle with why am I doing this? And
I don't. He doesn't. And then I remember all the porn. And I remember the porn, and I remember how turned on I am, and I remember the fetish, and I remember the compulsion, and I remember that I'm destroying my family, and I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? And then I remember the fetish that I feel around being vulnerable, maybe being raped, maybe being sexually assaulted, maybe, like those other guys, they just get so used to the validation of being vulnerable and being prone to men's attention, like negative attention in a sort of slutty way.
And at first I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I just started to think.
Then I thought, God, well, my daughters are getting periods, so fuck it. Let's just dive straight in. Because, that's essentially, I didn't have any moments where I thought I shouldn't do it. I had the I decided that the trade-off, that you losing a masculine role model, everything, I thought it was all worth it to satisfy a fetish.
Think about like, well, coming out was really hard for me.
It wasn't. It wasn't. You did it by email. Writing an email is not hard.
And it may be stupid, but I felt like that might be a good way for me to come out more, basically. Like
Yeah.
Does it help to know I take jujitsu?
Yeah.
Twice a
I mean,
month?
could you
Yeah. I mean, look, he's asking all the right questions. Like, did you cry about your dad? Did you feel he was a selfish asshole? Are you glad your mum divorced him? Like, how's your mum? How was she finding out that she was married to somebody with a deep fetish about wearing her clothes? Like, how did she find out? Is your mum all right? Was your mum traumatized? Do you feel traumatized? Have you got counseling?
could you demonstrate something or send
Yeah.
a video? Because I don't see it, but I guess I could see
I
it.
usually don't like to do my practice
You
on a
don't?
full stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get going. I
Yeah.
can talk to you guys on the phone tomorrow. So
Yeah, we got to get going because you've barely eaten your breakfast. And oh, look at that face. Wow.
yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah.
She looks like it as well, doesn't she? I wonder if that has something to do with everything, like the younger one who's got the short hair and yeah, she looks like her dad.
I love you.
I love you.
Patting. It's a funny thing to do to your daughter. Anyway, that is your first installment of what promises to be everything we thought it might be. Look, Party of Women is going to be the only party that will talk about this in a very, very honest way. What you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to join the party. You have to give us some money. I spoke to another lady yesterday, an incredible woman who up northeast. What is it with you northeast women? You're just so amazing. Perhaps it's the wind. But another woman up in the northeast who is going to stand as a candidate. We are picking up candidates. So we are going to need all of your help. So go to Party of Women. If you want somebody to do this, if you want somebody to talk about this, and you like what we do, either go to look, this is it in the day, and then it glows at night. It's so amazing, and it is a. Can you see? It's a cat. So go and support what we do. Go and get yourself some merch. Pop over to Party of Women. Donate some of your hard-earned cash. We are going to be the only people talking about the Equality Act. We are going to be the only party actually speaking in clear and precise language about this stuff. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm not trying to get my feet comfortably under a very well attended table or lunch. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stop this as quickly as humanly possible. Party of Women is going to be the way to do it. Let me just see. You can. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that yet. Let me just put that back up. And then Party of Women is that little thing over there. Join. That's all we're asking. Just join the party. If you can't do that, just give us £100 or £5 or £2.50 or 500, whatever you want to do. But we are going to be the only party. The Labour Party is nuts at the moment. I think they're worse than the Tories, genuinely, because the hypocrisy is just next level. It's just next level. And now there's rumours about what Keir Starmer's doing anyway and why he was spending so much time in that flat. It all sounds true to me. Look. We need everyone to understand. So in the Australian Federal Court, I talked about fetish and paraphilia. And then the judge, who's obviously had some sort of training, and the barrister, who's a he, him. What they talked about is that's a paraphilia is an unfair thing to say about transgenderism, and it's about gender identity. So we've got so much global unraveling to do that if you want to get it done, this really is the only way. It completely really is the only way. So if you want this to stop as quickly as I do, and you join Party of Women, donate some money, get yourself a top, then I promise we will win. If you can just speak the truth, can understand that there are organizations set up to keep the status quo and make no changes, and any changes that they do want to make are going to take years and years and years because that gives them a purpose. If you can acknowledge that, if you can understand the difference between wanting to win the fight and wanting to fight and fight and fight and set yourself up, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose.